It's hard. Hello everyone, how are you? This is yours truly, DC, coming at you once again. I am not the former UFC heavyweight champion, nor am I the rainmaker. So for today's episode, I'm just gonna take you through a couple of rides I went on with a bunch of my friends a couple weekends ago. And if you watched my last episode, which I'll link right here, I believe it was the Canyon Aero, the CFR unboxing, sorta unboxing, which actually happens to be right behind me, coincidentally. Anyhow, so on that episode, I told you how I was going out to the Sierra Mountains to tackle what is rated as the hardest mountain climb in California and the second hardest mountain climb in California. So this episode, I'm just going to kind of take you through that. Also, I don't have a whole lot of the B-rolls to support my story that I'm going to tell you. So I'll sprinkle in what I have here and there. So basically, here's how it happens. The website called PJM Cycling they categorize all these mountains and climbs and everything else, kind of a rate how hard it is based on the distance, elevation gained, other conditions like the road conditions and the traffic, what have you. So one of the things that piqued my interest a couple years ago actually, was the California's hardest to climb and the second hardest climb. They're basically right next to each other. So it's been on my plan to get out there last couple years, but the scheduling never quite worked. However, late July of 2024, I was able to get out there with a whole bunch of my homies. So got together on a Friday, then we tackled the #1 rated climb, the hardest, Onion Valley on Saturday, and then the second hardest to climb, rated climb, which is a Horseshoe Meadows on Sunday before we headed back down to LA. Okay, so let's talk about Onion Valley. Hardest climb in California as it is rated by PJM Cycling right out of the gate. I will like to respectfully disagree with that being the hardest to climb, because I could name you countless mountains that were harder, all in Southern California, Central California, Northern California. So this was definitely not the hardest. However, for context, I will give you this stat. So the Onion Valley, basically you ride 13 miles up to gain 4,900 feet in elevation. So that may not sound difficult or not difficult to you, but those of you who are familiar, especially in Southern California, you have a GMR, Glendora Mountain. It was featured in Tour of California a bunch of times, but anyhow. So GMR, you climb for 26 miles to gain 5,400 feet. And Dante's Peak in Death Valley, California, you also climb for about 25 miles to gain 5,000 feet in elevation. So if you do the math, Onion Valley, as it is rated the hardest, despite that I disagree, you are gaining just about the same amount of elevation in half the distance. So, I mean, if you look at it that way, it does sound pretty hard. So obviously that just means the average gradient is steeper. I think the average gradient was somewhere in the 8 point something range. I forget the numbers. But anyhow, so the 13-mile, it's just constant relentless climb all the way to the parking lot up at the top, and then you just come back down. So the 13-mile route that I'm climbing, if I could chop that off into 3 parts, so the first one-third of the climb, I'm not sure if I felt that difficult. So what happened was, we knew the day was going to be very hot. So I insisted that we clip in as early as possible. So we clipped in at 6:30. If it was just me, I would have clipped in at 5:45. But other guys had to get their stuff together, and we all had to get ready together as a group. So we clipped in at 6:30, and I mean, as we were climbing the first 1/3 of the section, it was already getting a little bit warm. So the sun was behind our back as the route took us heading west. So the sun is squarely on our the backside, and we're climbing, and it felt a little warm already. Now, I don't know if my B-rolls can show it, but basically it's just a road out in the desert with the mountain range up at the front, and there is no shelter to be had. There's no trees lining the road, nothing. There's no shade, no place for reprieve. So we're just heading up. However, I didn't feel it was that bad, but the second third, remember, the 13-mile route, if I chop that into 3 pieces, the middle 1/3 portion of it, I felt like the gradient was deep, a little steeper. So that was where the challenge came. And obviously by this point, the group was just everywhere on the road. I was climbing the second from the front. And there was one tree, I remember, there was one tree that cast some shade. So I actually sat there for a bit and took a rest, and then continue to head up. And the final 1/3 bit was where one of my friends who elected not to ride that day because he had to babysit a dog, he came up in his car, and as he was rolling by, I saw the rider in front of me, one of my bros who was in front of me. I overtook him, and then I stayed up at the front to the end of that climb. And that 1/3, the final 1/3 wasn't as bad because the weather cooled down up at the top, towards the top of the mountain. So it was nowhere near as warm at the as I went up. And then the descent was obviously pretty fun. I mean, what goes up must come down. So we were just bombing down the mountains. However, because of the switchback situation, especially up at the top 1/3, you had to be pretty careful. But then there are some sections where it's just a dead straight, and you're just coming down straight. So you kind of need to pay attention because you're descending for a while there. And if you kind of let your mind drift away for a second, or if you don't pay attention, then it could get a little bit monotonous, and then hence you lose your focus, and then that could spell disaster. So that's how the day 1 was. 13 miles, 4,900 feet of elevation gain. All the members, I think there were 6 of us or 7 of us that took part, and we all did climb that successfully. So that was fun. Again, we all met up at the top and discussed how the climb was not the hardest to climb in California. So then the second day came, which was the Sunday, and we checked out of a hotel and campground, and we were basically coming home. So from Bishop, California, where we stayed, we would drive down to a city called Lone Pine, which is about an hour south of Bishop. So it's closer to LA by that much. So we clipped in the city of Lone Pine. So the Horseshoe Meadows climb is basically 20 miles to gain 6,500 feet in elevation gain. So again, you are climbing for 20 miles nonstop, relentless, to gain 6,500. Although I say that with a bit of a caveat. Right at about 6,200 feet of elevation gained, maybe a couple miles, maybe about right around 18 miles, you see a false peak of that mountain. That is not the end of the road there. You need to keep going. It is, even I got fooled by it. So basically you get to this point, you see this descent, and you go, oh, so I'm at the top. And then a lot of people turned around there, but we sort of knew about this going in. So what happened was then we keep going, you descend for a while, and then the climb kicks back up again to get to the actual end of the Horseshoe Meadows climb, which again ends in a parking lot of a campground, very not glamorous. There's no like a beautiful scenery at the top waiting for you, although the scenery is great as you are climbing Horseshoe Meadows. So anyhow, same thing happened. This particular climb, I can't really dissect it into pieces. It's just long, arduous climb, and average gradient is not as steep as the day one Onion Valley. However, because your legs are so shot from the day before, the second day was pretty dang hard for everybody. That's the kind of a Horseshoe Meadows. Again, the day was warm, we knew it, so we clipped in early. And much like the Onion Valley climb the day before, there is no shelter along the way going up. There are a whole lot of trees up until the very final mile, I want to say. It was so hard, I really didn't get to see, observe and look for those things, expecting that I would cut this video. Then I kept going, did a quick stop at the false peak aforementioned. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in the end, we've got about a mile left, about 300 feet to the top of Horseshoe Meadows. Rated second hardest to climb, according to PJM. Although I don't know if I would agree with that. Anyhow, as usual, I got my fucking partner in crime, the King Anaconda himself. I got that much more to go. So, I'll see you folks on the other side. Diabetic cycling, King Anaconda, we're out. Finished the climb and then we descended back. Now, descend back was absolutely hellacious. I will roll the descent footage here, but basically switchbacks, you got to be careful, and there are no protective railing on the side. So if you make a mistake, if you overshoot the corner or any of that, then you are tumbling down. It's a steep tumbling down to imminent death. So that was kind of a gnarly descent, and the pavement condition isn't terrible, but it's not good. So you do have the road condition that you need to watch out for. Now, I had a pretty much clear access to the road where I didn't have a car in front, I didn't have cars in the back chasing me, so I was able to maneuver at my own speed, so that worked out really well. One of the homies elected not to ride this day because he was suffering from cramps the day before, so apparently he was behind me towards the end of the descent and he filmed me, so that I will show you that as a B-roll right about now. But again, it was very tough. I don't know if I would even call that second hardest to climb, and that's not because I'm some sort of some elite rider, nothing like that. I mean, my speed is ridiculously slow. So whatever PJM Cycling classified as the hardest to climb 1 and 2, we were as a group we were able to do that, and that was a good time, one for the memory books for sure. And I'm making this video just in case somebody is interested in heading out there, just to kind of give you footage of what you can expect if you were to do that. I would say definitely avoid summertime, maybe spring and fall, as with anything, would be easier for you to get out to, not only for the scenery, but the temperatures, the weather condition will be on your side. And then as we were coming down, we stopped by Alabama Hills, which is where Iron Man 1 was filmed, where Tony Stark is introducing the Jericho missiles. So that was kind of fun. Anyhow, so that kind of wraps up my trip. I took specialized ethos for this particular trip, and I have a in-depth review, the DC style review, coming out soon on the specialized ethos, and I've been riding Trek Madone Hell Ton to bring you three-way battle between the Trek Madone, Canyon Air Road, and my Ribble Ultra SLR. Now, if you have not subscribed to my, if you're not following me on Instagram, please do so. I have less than 1,000 people on that list, and it is my goal to get up to at least 1,000 before the year is over. And a lot of the times you get a sneak peek of what bike I'm about to feature on YouTube, on the Instagram, well before, because I take photos and I upload as I'm test riding the bikes that I'm gonna feature on this YouTube channel. So that's that. Is there anything else I'm missing that I'm forgetting to tell you? Okay, so the Canyon Air Road is also gonna be coming up for first impression video, as well as I have a build of the NV Melee that I'm about to do. I have a bike packing trip coming up, which is next weekend. For that, I'll be featuring another bike, which you have not seen on the channel. So there's just a whole lot going on. So definitely do subscribe, and hopefully I could come see you more often, as this channel is usually sponsored by my own damn wallet, but it is definitely brought to you by your engagement. All right, that's it for me today. I wanted to keep it short, but I think I was pretty breathy. I've been Diabetic Cycling. You've been awesome. Keep the rubber side down. Be safe out there. And most of all, be good humans. I'm out.
Just give me one more time.
just in case y'all didn't notice. I'm the fucking shit up in this bitch and everybody knows it. Cash flowing, pockets growing, wake up blessed every morning. Just in case y'all didn't notice, I'm the fucking shit up in this bitch and everybody knows it. You know it's me again. Walking to the party, I'm fresh, clean, and I'm elegant. Brand new suit, I smell like money, that Gucci scent. Drinking Casamigos with bitches that can't afford the rent. Running it back up, I got drunk, woke up in Phoenix. Scottsdale women, I swear that pussy the meanest. My dick is like a drug, I fuck her once and she fiendin'. Got me shooting all these slugs, that good pussy, I need it, I got God on my side, so I can do anything. Married to the money, I just went and bought a wedding ring. Down payments on everything, I mean everything. Fuck is you saying I couldn't make it, bitch, I made a name. Now I'm everything that you wanna be. I've seen things and no one would ever wanna see. I'm the rookie in the vet, catching checks on the jet. With a type of bitch you ain't never gonna meet. Cash flowing, pockets growing, wake up blessed every morning. Just in case y'all didn't notice, I'm the fucking shit up in this bitch and everybody knows it. Cash flowing, pockets growing, wake up blessed every morning. Just in case y'all didn't notice, I'm the fucking shit up in this bitch and everybody knows it. That means I'm in love, got me one hell of a night, doing you right. I'm showing you love, doing whatever you like. But I don't fuck with bitches, I like independent women. I'ma help you do the dishes, cause that pussy so delicious. I got baddies, baddies, baddies with big fatties. I fucked up on your bitch in the caddy in Cincinnati. I was hitting it like, shawty started calling me daddy. From Baltimore to Miami, got bitches at every addy. I got God on my side, so I can do anything. Married to the money, I just went and bought a wedding ring. Down payments on everything, I mean everything. Fuck is you saying I couldn't make it, bitch, I made a name. Now I'm everything that you wanna be. I've seen things and no one would ever wanna see. I'm the rookie in the vet, catching checks on the jet. With a type of bitch you ain't never gonna meet. Hey, look, cash flowing, pockets growing, wake up blessed every morning. Just in case y'all didn't notice, I'm the fucking shit up in this bitch and everybody knows it. Cash flowing, pockets growing, wake up blessed every morning. Just in case y'all didn't notice, I'm the fucking shit up in this bitch and everybody knows it.